Groceries are so expensive right now, you guys, so this video is for you if you've been wanting to make more home-cooked meals without spending literally your entire paycheck plus hours in the kitchen every single night. I'm gonna be sharing 3 of my personal favorite budget-friendly recipes that are beginner-friendly, easy to throw together on a busy weeknight, and also delicious, of course, and plant-based. This video is sponsored by Thrive Market. This recipe I think is my personal favorite of the bunch. It's for these super garlicky, creamy peanut noodles. I think everyone needs a version of this recipe in their back pocket because it's just perfect for those nights when you're kind of running low on groceries, so you need something super flexible, something that relies on lots of pantry staples, and this is really delicious and addictive.
I just wanted everyone to know I grew these scallions in our garden and I'm very proud of them, and look how beautiful and green they are. I also have this massive bag of garlic scapes because I'm growing a bunch of garlic. We don't really know what to do with them yet, so I just have been storing them in this bag.
Personally, I think what makes this peanut sauce so addictive is the balance of sweet, savory, and spicy flavors and the addition of tons of fresh aromatics. I'm adding lots of fresh minced garlic and ginger, sliced scallions, red chili flakes, and it doesn't have to be precise. Literally just measure those with your heart. And if you're someone who doesn't like to chop a lot of things, you can totally use some garlic and ginger from a jar. Nobody is judging. And personally, I don't love too much raw garlic or onion in my food, so I add all of the aromatics to my smallest pan with some peanut and sesame oil and sizzle those for a few minutes to mellow out that raw bite. Then set those aside, and then to a big mixing bowl, you'll add some peanut butter. I recommend the natural runny kind of peanut butter. And if you don't like peanut butter or can't eat it, you could substitute almond butter, cashew butter, or even tahini. Add in some soy sauce, rice vinegar, a little bit of maple syrup or brown sugar, and fresh lime juice to add brightness. Pour in those sizzled aromatics and chili flakes and whisk that sauce together, adding a little water as needed to get the perfect creamy and drizzleable consistency. As far as noodles go, you can use literally whatever you have in your pantry. If you need something gluten-free, I love these ramen noodles. They're millet and brown rice. A classic like rice pad thai noodle is really good. I do recommend something on the thicker side because the sauce is really rich and you want something that will hold up to that. You could use the udon that comes pre-cooked in like the refrigerated section if you want something nice and chewy and kind of bouncy. You can even use good old spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine, or soba noodles if you want something that's a little more flavorful. Yeah, what should we use today? Eric wants to use the linguine today, so we'll do that. You can serve these noodles hot or cold, so if you want them chilled, just rinse them thoroughly with cold water after you drain them, and make sure to save a little bit of that starchy cooking water to adjust the texture. Toss the noodles in the sauce to coat them, adding in the cooking water as needed, and then you can add any of your favorite fresh veggies into the mix. I like some crisp veggies to balance out the creaminess of the peanut sauce, so things like carrot, cabbage, and red bell pepper are my favorites. If you would like to boost the protein content of the meal, adding edamame or a really simple pan-fried tofu is a great option. In my case, I just pressed a block of extra firm tofu, tore it into bite-sized pieces, pan-fried it until golden brown, and then reduced the heat and glazed the tofu pieces with just a few tablespoons of soy sauce. You don't really need to add any fancy seasonings to this because the peanut sauce is already so flavorful. And then you just put everything together. You can garnish the peanut noodles with some extra lime juice, some scallions, some cilantro if you want to add some extra freshness. You can add some toasted sesame seeds. I am big on texture, so I love adding like roasted peanuts, either chopped or crushed, with my mortar and pestle, just to add that extra crunch. Taste test time. I'm really excited. I'm obsessed with this peanut sauce. It's so good. It's sweet, little tangy, very savory. It's nice to get these like crisp bites of fresh vegetables in there too. Really good if you serve it cold when it's hot outside, very refreshing. The tofu is the perfect add-on, and the little bit of caramelization of the soy sauce is really good.
Like absurdly good. The peanut butter base, all the acidity in there, the spiciness from the gochugaru, and all the garlic.
Are you satisfied with your choice of linguine?
I am, but anything would be good.
Before we move on to the next recipe, I want to thank Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. And if you're not familiar, Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store that's basically like having a health food store at your fingertips. They deliver tons of snacks, pantry staples, and specialty ingredients straight to your door. They have really high quality standards for their ingredients, and the best part is how convenient and affordable it is. What I really appreciate is how simple it is to browse and find plant-based options. Plus, they have lots of different organic and sustainably sourced products. You can sort by any of your dietary needs without having to scour labels or go to multiple different stores to find the right ingredients. I love being able to stock up on things like oats, beans, spices, all those little things that make my meals tasty and nutritious without breaking the bank. Plus, they have a really amazing selection of vegan-friendly snacks with good ingredients. Since I started using Thrive Market regularly, my meal planning and prepping has become so much less stressful because I know I can always depend on the quality and convenience, and it saves me a lot of time and energy. So an annual membership gives you access to their entire catalog. Everything is delivered with carbon neutral shipping, and orders over $49 ship completely free. Plus, Thrive Market donates a membership to a family in need for every membership that's purchased. The membership is $60 a year, and for me, it easily pays for itself in savings over just 2 or 3 orders. If you would like to try out Thrive Market for yourself, you can visit the link in my description box. It's thrivemarket.com/Sarah's Vegan Kitchen. It'll give you 30% off your first order, plus a free gift worth up to $60. So check that out. Thank you to Thrive Market, and let's get back to our recipes. Our next budget-friendly recipe is for these crispy black bean tacos that can be either baked or made on the stove. So let's tackle our mise en place. Go ahead and dice up an onion and mince up as much garlic as you like. You can also dice up 1 or 2 green peppers like jalapenos or serranos if you like a little spice. Measure out your spices. I've got cumin, smoked paprika, chili powder, and a little bit of oregano. And you're welcome to use a pre-mixed taco spice blend if you already have that in your pantry. I'm also going to drain and rinse 2 cans of black beans. This recipe is also really nice with pinto beans or lentils. And we love beans here. They're a great source of plant-based protein, fiber, nutrients, and they are extremely budget-friendly. Let's make our bean taco filling. Heat a drizzle of olive oil in a skillet and saute your onion, minced garlic, and peppers if you're adding any until the onions are translucent. Just takes a few minutes. Then add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste along with your spices, mix those in, and toast everything for just about 1 minute. Now I'm adding in my drained beans along with 1/2 cup of vegetable broth or water. And I'm going to simmer everything together for about 3 to 4 minutes. Next, I'm mashing some of the beans to make a more cohesive filling. I'm using a potato masher. You can use a fork, just be careful not to beat up the bottom of your pan if you're using a nonstick. As a finishing touch, I'm going to squeeze in some fresh lime juice to brighten everything up, and then I'm going to give it a taste and adjust with salt and pepper. And I'll remove that from the heat. These tacos can be crisped up on the stove or on a sheet pan in the oven. And then as far as tortillas go, you can use either corn or flour. Both are honestly delicious. For the sheet pan version, you're going to warm up a few tortillas at a time in the microwave just so they're soft and pliable. Brush or spray one side of each tortilla with oil, flip them over, and spread some of the taco filling on 1/2. If you're going to add cheese, you can do that now. Yes, it makes it a little less budget-friendly and a little less healthy, but they taste really good with cheese, so usually I will add a little bit. Fold the tortilla to shape your taco, and then you're going to pop these in a 400-degree preheated oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, and you're going to give them a flip at around the 8-minute mark. Now, if you want to pan fry them, you will shape them in the same way. You can skip oiling them ahead of time, and then you're going to preheat a drizzle of oil in a skillet. I keep the heat kind of low because I don't want the tortillas to get too brown before the cheese is melted, and it just takes a few minutes per side till they're nice and golden brown and crisp. To finish those off, you can add any of your favorite fresh taco fillings. I always do finely shredded iceberg lettuce, then either some fresh diced tomatoes or pico de gallo. And if I want to make it a little fancier, I'll whip up a little chipotle mayo or a cilantro lime crema with plant-based yogurt or cashew cream. Okay, so I'm gonna taste test the flour ones. I have one of the baked ones and one of the pan-fried ones. Baked ones get a little bit like crunchier. The pan-fried ones, they're crunchy on the outside, but the tortilla stays like a little bit soft in the middle. I am gonna try the pan-fried one first though, because it kind of looks like a chalupa. It's so good, so good. I'm gonna try the baked one now.
That one has more of a crunch.
I think the one thing that would make it like a 10 out of 10 for me is if I had bought some like vegan sour cream or made some sort of chipotle crema. Having a little bit of a cool creamy element would make it like the best thing ever.
And I have to say the baked ones, they're not actually even worse than the pan fried ones. So go ahead and bake them.
Yeah, I think they're both really good. I do think for the corn tortillas, pan frying them is a little bit better because the corn tortillas get a little bit drier in the oven. But for flour, I feel like they're equally good.
All right, I am trying the pan fried corn tortillas.
They got so crispy.
When you use corn, it really feels like a restaurant. That's really good. That's really good. Need some avocado, need some hot sauce on here.
Oh yeah. It's the next day, and this recipe is gonna be perfect for you if you're like me and you're obsessed with Indian takeout, but you wanna save a little bit of money, you're trying to eat a little healthier in general. So we're gonna be making a one-pot creamy coconut lentil curry. Really delicious. I just wanna give a quick disclaimer though. Authentic Indian food from a really good restaurant, it sets a very high bar, okay? This, it's not quite at that level, but it's still really delicious. It's super easy to make, very budget friendly, and I think you're gonna love it. Dice up an onion and mince up some garlic and fresh ginger. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're pressed for time or you're not too confident in your knife skills yet, you can always use minced garlic and ginger from a jar. You can also add in a few diced green chilies if you like spice. Saute all these aromatics in a tablespoon or two of olive or coconut oil till the onion starts to brown. To keep things really simple, rather than mixing lots of different spices, I'm just using a hot curry powder. I add in 2 tablespoons. You can add in 1 tablespoon if you want a milder flavor. Toast the curry powder for about a minute and then add in a can of crushed tomatoes plus some vegetable broth or water. You're gonna measure out 1 cup of brown or green lentils, check them for any little pebbles first, and give them a good rinse before adding them into the pan. If you're wondering whether you can substitute in red lentils, the answer is yes, but red lentils cook faster and they get much softer, so the texture will be a little bit more stew-like. We're gonna simmer our lentils for about 25 minutes or until they're tender. Now we'll add 1 can of coconut milk. I highly recommend full-fat coconut milk. You can substitute in some homemade cashew cream or even something like an unsweetened oat milk. This is just to make it a little bit creamier. Now we're gonna simmer for another 5 to 10 minutes to thicken it up. You can let it go for less or more time depending on how soupy you want it to be. And you can also toss in a handful of spinach or kale if you want to sneak some extra greens in. Serve this lentil curry with steamed rice or homemade flatbread. I love to garnish it with some cilantro to add some freshness, and if I have yogurt in my fridge, I'll add a dollop of that to balance out the spice. This is a meal that is great as leftovers or for meal prep as well. It tastes even better the next day. And that wraps up today's video. I hope that you enjoy, got some ideas for some budget-friendly recipes to add into your rotation. Thank you so much if you made it this far. I really appreciate you. I'd love if you subscribed if you haven't already for more plant-based recipes. And thanks again to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check out their offer in the description box. 30% off your first order plus a free gift up to $60. Amazing deal. Let me know if you'd like to see more budget-friendly recipes or if you have any other video requests. I'd love to make those for you, and I will see you very soon. Bye. You know the chopstick trick?
No. Do you like twist them around the chopstick?
Yeah, stick them in and then twist.
Like that?
Yeah, keep going.
This is hard. I feel like I'm pretty coordinated and this is hard.
There you go. Okay, well.
Just blur this out.
This is the chopstick trick.
Why are you so much better at it?
Because I've been doing it. Mommy Tang taught this to me. Do you know who that is?
I do, yeah.